uses the C word to describe. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
He then says, yeah, she's a babe.
Sir, at the time Michael Proctor was revealing this information on this high school group chat, was this information public?
I have no memory one way or the other.
She skated. She's effed. Is that what he said?
It is.
And then one person in the group says, no. Accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law, folks. Today, we are going to continue with Officer Diamandis. He is going to give us some additional information now in front of a jury, no longer testifying on voir dire as he was last week on Friday at the end of May. Now we are in June. This is the continuation of the trial. Monday, June 2nd is when Mr. Diamandis testified. It is now Wednesday, June 4th, and the trial continues. The defense is continuing to call witnesses, and we are listening to testimony. So, without further ado, I give you Diamandis. Let's go.
Sir, do you know former trooper Michael Proctor?
I do.
How do you know him?
We've been friends since middle school, approximately 30 years.
And you're going to hear direct examination by David Yannetti, cross by Brennan, and then back to Yannetti.
What town?
Canton, Massachusetts.
How close did you remain in contact with Michael Proctor after high school?
Very close.
Do you have his cell number?
I do.
How often have you texted him over the years?
Frequently.
I want to direct your attention to one particular group chat that had 9 people on it. Do you know the one I'm referring to?
I do.
And what one is that?
It's one that's been in existence for many years. We've been texting on that text chain for 10 plus years, I would suggest.
With regard to the 9 people on that group chat, you're one of them?
Correct.
And whether or not Michael Proctor is on that group chat with the rest of your high school friends as well?
He is, yes.
And having reviewed that text chain on Friday, did you see that you had actually sent one text of the whole body of text that's included in what has been marked N for identification?
Yes.
Having reviewed the content of that text chain, were you able to identify which entries were typed and sent by Michael Proctor?
Yes.
Who is he on that text chain?
He's listed as local user.
Everybody else is identified by a phone number. Having known Michael Proctor for as long as you have, does he have any nicknames?
He does.
And what are his nicknames?
Chip and Bear.
Chip, C-H-I-P?
Yes.
And Bear, B-E-A-R?
Correct.
In that document, are there inappropriate comments that your friend Michael Proctor made about one of his investigations?
There are.
Was it about this case here?
It was.
In those inappropriate comments, did other people on that text chain, not you, comment or respond to Mr. Proctor?
Yes.
In that text chain where Mr. Proctor made inappropriate comments, you did not respond to any of those inappropriate comments, did you?
Correct.
You're on the text chain at a point later on in conversations, but not relevant to the inappropriate comments.
Correct.
Did you know that Mr. Proctor was fired by the Massachusetts State Police because of his inappropriate comments?
Objection.
Sir, do you know if
What?
Mr. Proctor was fired from the Massachusetts State Police?
I do.
Did he tell you why?
It was in connection to this case. I believe it was based on his text messages that were sent to us.
Based on these comments that are an exhibit?
Correct.
Did you at any time ever defend or endorse these comments?
I did not.
Did you ever encourage him in his comments?
I did not.
Wow.
May I approach?
Yes.
Handing you exhibit 209.
Thank you.
On the first page, ending in the numbers 27, there's a fuller number, but I'll just use the last 2 numbers. Bottom right, 27. Is there a number of redacted phone numbers?
I'm sorry, on the first page on the bottom of the page?
If you look to the bottom right of the page, there's a number on it?
Oh, yes, and then it's blacked out next to it?
Yes.
Yes.
The last 2 numbers, is it 27?
Yes, it is.
When you look at that first page, does it have a number of redacted phone numbers of different people?
I don't see anything redacted.
The top box, are there numbers?
There
Phone
are numbers, yes.
Are they partially blacked out?
No, the display names, it just lists phone numbers.
Okay. Are those numbers you recognize as the group of friends, including Michael Proctor?
They are.
As you read down that first box and go down to number of messages, do you see that?
Oh, yes.
Is it 38,707?
Yes.
Is that for a time period between October 18, 2021 and August 31st, 2022?
Yes.
I'd like you to look at the third text message that begins with Chip. Without saying who it is, do you recognize that as one of the people in the group?
I do.
And what did the person write?
Chip, name of that BPD cop.
And at the time this conversation was happening, were you part of this immediate conversation?
I was not.
Turn the page. Bottom right number is ending in 28. Do you see that page?
Yes.
Okay. Instead of a name, there's a local user with an ID. Is that Mr. Proctor's?
Yes, it is.
And does he respond to Chip, name of that BPD cop?
He does.
What does he say?
John O'Keefe.
What is the next question from somebody in the group?
How old?
And what does Mr. Proctor respond?
He took custody of his sister's kids.
The next one?
She died of cancer and the father overdosed on her grave.
And then one of the group sends a message. What do they say?
Oh man, that's rough.
And what's Mr. Proctor's response?
Mid-40s.
Does somebody in the group then post a Facebook posting?
Yes.
Do you know what that's about?
I do not.
You can turn the page ending bottom right 29.
Yes.
Somebody in the group ask another question.
Yes.
What do they say?
What's that? Don't have the book anymore.
If you could just speak up just a little so it's hard to hear with the fan on, not your
Sure.
phone.
What's that? Don't have the book anymore.
How does Mr. Proctor respond?
This one is a nightmare. Forget about the kids. That's awful.
And then I'd like you to go down to Mr. Proctor's next comment.
But all the powers that be want answer ASAP.
And what does one of the group respond with?
Gotcha.
Mr. Proctor?
Couldn't open it either.
Do you know what he was talking about when he said he couldn't open it?
I'm guessing the Facebook link.
I'd like you to turn forward to bottom right 3-1. Do you see what that is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
John O'Keefe's Facebook page.
What does it tell us about John O'Keefe?
He went to Braintree High School, studied criminal justice at Northeastern, joined Facebook in 2008.
Turn the page, please. The first line from Bird, and I'll note this is January 29, 2022 at 10:56:39 p.m. Did I read that accurately?
Yes.
And what does the person say?
I'm sure the owner of the house will receive some shit.
And could you read Mr. Proctor's two responses?
Nope. Homeowner is a Boston cop too.
So you could turn to the next page ending on 33.
I remember those from the first trial. Now this jury heard it.
This is January 29,
Very important.
2022 at 10:57:21 p.m.
This is crucial because we have Michael Proctor making incriminating statements that, oh, no. The guy at the house is not going to catch anything. The reason for that is he's a Boston cop, too. So don't worry about it. I got this covered. I got this covered.
Could you read Mr. Proctor's two comments?
She waffled him. I looked at his body at the hospital.
And one of the group asks a question.
She waffled him, in quotation marks.
And how does he respond?
He was banged up.
Somebody in the group asks another question. What do they ask?
I thought he was drunk. Did he get beat up?
And Mr. Proctor's response?
Nope.
Turn to the next page, ending in 34. This is at around 10:58:06 p.m. running through 10:59 p.m. Another question from the group. What did they ask?
So the owner of the house was a woman cop that beat him.
And Mr. Proctor's two responses.
That's what I initially thought after talking to Canton paramedic. Then I saw the guy.
One of the group asks further down, what does... Sir, if you could either speak much louder or bring the microphone closer. We have a couple fans back here. It's just difficult to hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's not your fault. If we can keep our voice up. So one of the group asks...
See,
what
he
does...
also, much like what's-her-face, Devere, Devil Deggs, whatever I call her, he doesn't want to be here. It's obvious, but he's just like, what's the next question? Yeah. Like, at least he gets it out. She was just like, yeah, Well, at least he got my name correctly. This is me filing my nails right on the witness stand. Do you see what I'm... Yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's how you do it.
What does...
Take notes,
quote,
Deborah!
she waffled him, quote, end quote, mean? And then asks, what's the story? Does Mr. Proctor return?
He does.
What does he say?
She hit him with her car.
Turn to the next page, please, ending in 3-5. And these texts are from 10:59:13 p.m. to 11 and 8 seconds p.m. The person by the name of Bird asks a question. What does he ask? Or what does he say?
Okay, that's
How does Mr. Proctor respond?
intentional or not.
And somebody in the group again.
Gotcha, he was frozen in the driveway and she didn't see him.
And Mr. Proctor's two responses.
That's another animal we won't be able to prove.
And the next one.
They arrived at the house together, got into an argument. She was driving and left.
What does the friend say?
What's the name of the Canton cop living in Canton? The other one involved.
What does Mr. Proctor say?
Biffed him.
Turn to the next page, ending in 3-6. These run from January 29, 2022, 11 p.m. and 11 seconds to January 29, 2022, 11 p.m., 39 seconds. The first comment by somebody in the group.
The BPD have any jurisdiction here because it was their own?
And then if you could look where there's a comment from Whitey at 11 p.m., 27 seconds.
Liz has got the blueprint.
Liz has got the blueprint. Do you know who Liz is?
No.
Okay. And what's the next comment by Mr. Proctor?
Nah, Cat, it's the total opposite. They have to rescue themselves.
What it's
Recuse themselves,
Thank
excuse
you.
me.
Recuse themselves?
Yes.
And then a comment by somebody in the group?
Laughed at. Liz has got the blueprint.
On the next page, Mr. Proctor's comment.
Same with Canton.
At January 29, 2022, 11:02 p.m. and 15 seconds, there's a comment from one person in the group, number ending in 5051. Could you read that?
But I assume you guys are out to make it cut and dry since it involves cops.
Next comment by Bird.
Something stinks.
And the comment by Mr. Proctor.
Yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl.
And the beginning of the next sentence is gotta be. And finally, the last comment on that page.
She hot at least.
And that's a question mark.
Yes.
Turn the page, please. Ending in 3-8. These messages begin at 11:05:57 p.m., run through 11:06:39 p.m. on January 29, 2022. Does it begin with comments from Mr. Proctor?
It does.
Could you read all of them, please?
These are not my words. I'm not really comfortable reading these. Do I have to say these words out loud?
So I'm going to see you at sidebar.
We know what those are.
Sir, I'm appreciating that you're not comfortable with these words. These are not your words, are they?
No, they're not.
You didn't see them at the time?
I did not.
You've never condoned them or adopted them?
No.
In fact, you would denounce these, wouldn't you?
I would.
I don't want you to say words that are not yours, so I'll say the words, and I'm going to ask you if I'm reading accurately. Is that better?
Yes.
Is that a fairer way to do it?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay. On January 29, 2022, 11 p.m., 5 minutes, 57 seconds, and this page ends at 11 p.m., 6 minutes, 39 seconds on January 29, 2022, ending in numbers 38. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Mr. Proctor says, from all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. She's a and uses the C word to describe. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
He then says, yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. No ass. Are those the words that he wrote?
Those are the words.
And there's a response at the bottom from one member in the group stating, oh, she's skating.
Yes.
Let's turn the page, ending in 3-9. These begin in January 29, 2022, 11:06 p.m., 55 seconds. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Proctor responds, zero chance she skated. She's effed.
Yes.
Is that what he said?
It is.
And then one person in the group says, no bitch. Accurate?
Yes. That's accurate.
Mr. Proctor, there's a response, laughed at, quote.
Yes.
If you could turn to the page that ends in 4-3. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody in the group says, is that chick a smoke? And then the same person follows up with a question mark. Accurate?
Accurate.
Mr. Proctor responds, E-H.
Yes.
Nut bag, as my chief would say.
Yes.
She's got a leaky balloon knot.
Yes.
Leaks poo.
Yes.
Are those the words of Mr. Proctor?
They are.
Did I read those accurately?
You did.
And then a person in the group says, what are you guzzling on? And this is on, well, let me take a step back to be more clear. The comments I just read, those weren't on January 29th. Those were on February 2nd, 2022.
Correct.
Now that we know for a fact that Brennan didn't call Proctor and is not going to call Proctor, and the defense with the recent motion yesterday, June 3rd, on Tuesday, trying to get an instruction from Bev to the jury about why Higgins, Proctor, etc. didn't testify, which she's probably going to deny because she's Bev and that's what she's going to do. Anything that helps the defense, denied. Anything that helps the prosecution, granted, is literally her MO, modus operandi. The interesting thing that we can confirm now is that the reason Diamandis is the one introducing all of these text messages is to, again, show the kind of scumbag Proctor is without having to call him to the stand. His absence is actually better for the defense than his presence, because otherwise, first of all, they would have called him. That's the dead giveaway. But realistically speaking, Proctor has nothing to offer at all. He's being the lead investigator, the most corrupt individual here, has absolutely nothing to offer. Think about that for a second. The only thing that the jury's going to know is that Proctor is a cancer. Jackson is going to repeat that theme in closing, guaranteed. Proctor is the cancer that permeates this entire trial, ladies and gentlemen. And as a result of that, you have a botched investigation, corruption, lies, deception, and so on, and therefore you should acquit, in so many words. But the fact that the government is so terrified of putting Proctor on is extremely telling. Extremely telling.
And the time is 12:50 p.m. 12:50 and 5 seconds p.m. begin the page?
Yes, beginning of the page, yes.
These are different in time than the ones we read before, the series of text messages.
Correct.
Okay. And then at the bottom, one of the members of the group says, what are you guzzling on?
Correct.
And that's still February 2nd, 2022, and that's at 1:51:33 p.m.
Yes.
And then if you can turn to page that ends on with numbers 44.
Yes.
And this is on February 2nd, 2022, 1:52:24. Mr. Proctor says, nothing, writing a warrant.
That's accurate.
There are no further text messages?
From Mr. Proctor?
Yes, or anybody in this group that you have as part of this exhibit?
That was not the last comment.
Okay, let me look. Is there another YouTube video?
There is.
You were not part of any of these conversations with Mr. Proctor,
No,
but you're still friends with him?
I am.
In your conversations with Mr. Proctor, has he ever suggested that he planted evidence in this case or any other case?
No,
In your conversations with Mr. Proctor, has he ever suggested framing a defendant, including this defendant?
absolutely not.
In all your conversations with Mr. Proctor, has he ever suggested...
Wait, what's with all the blinking? As soon as he said absolutely not, he just like he got something in his eyes, like the truth accidentally is trying to get in there and he's not letting it. It's kind of crazy.
tampering with evidence in this case or in any other case?
No, absolutely not.
And Mr. Proctor was fired?
He was.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Sir, at the time Michael Proctor was revealing this information on this high school group chat, was this information public?
I have no memory one way or the other.
At the time Michael Proctor was texting these messages to you and your other high school friends, were Ms. Reed's medical conditions public? Did you know anything about Ms. Reed's medical conditions?
I didn't know anything about this case at all.
Michael Proctor was the one revealing those details about the case to you and anybody on the chat who cared to read them, correct?
Correct.
And you were asked questions about why Michael Proctor was fired, and I believe you answered in a shorthand way for these text messages. Were you aware he was fired for being biased?
I'm not aware of that.
Objection.
Were you aware that he was fired for revealing confidential information about an investigation?
I was not aware of that.
And were you aware that he was also fired for conduct unbecoming a state trooper and a lead investigator in this case?
I was not aware of that.
I have no further questions.
Oh, there's a brief recross by Brennan.
You're not aware that he was fired for conduct unbecoming because of these text messages?
My understanding was it was due to the text messages. I don't know the other details of the situation.
Do you know he was not fired for any accusations of planting or tampering with evidence?
I do not know that.
Do you know that he was not fired for doing anything to compromise the integrity of the evidence in this investigation?
I do not know that.
Not helping you, Brennan.
All right. So, sir, I am going to let you step down, and then, folks, I have an instruction for you that I should have read at the time that text messages came in. All right, so I've told you folks previously, but I've got an additional instruction here. Before, and I think so you know this, and you'll hear it at the end of the case as well. Before you consider any electronic communication in your deliberations, you must first find that it is more likely true than not that the person who authored or created or transmitted the communication was in fact the person alleged. And here we've heard it be Michael Proctor and high school friends, the testimony was, I believe. If you do not find it is more likely true than not that the person alleged to have created or sent these messages, then you may not consider the electronic communication in deciding this case. And also here, this text message chain was not being admitted for the truth of what's in the chain, but solely for the limited purpose of weighing the text as they go to Michael Proctor's state of mind, and more specifically, whether or not that state of mind reflects any bias or omissions in the police investigations. So,
That instruction would have been better read at the beginning of the testimony, not after, because now they've already heard it, they formed an opinion, and now you saying that means absolutely nothing. So thank you, Bev, for screwing things up and doing things out of order, because now the jury is even more confused. But at least they were able to listen to that evidence without you tainting them. You tainted them after, which is much better. So for that, Bev, we thank you. Diamandis, thank you, my friend. We really appreciate your candor. We appreciate you being a Proctor proxy. Hey, that rhymes, kind of, sort of. Anyway, yeah, folks, this afternoon, I don't know what exactly we might premiere another Brian Albert video. I know that there's another Brian Albert video that I need to premiere, and another expert video that I need to premiere. So it all depends. And then, of course, tomorrow, Thursday, June 5th, tune into Melanie Little's channel for a little surprise. And maybe my own channel as well. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. You will find out tomorrow. Bye, everybody.